All right, let's take a look at this question. It's taking that linear function idea and really taking it to a higher level. And this is honestly could be something that you might see on an SAT kind of question as well. Um, so let's take a look at it. If we're told that x plus ay equals 4. If m equals 3, what does a equal? So I think the temptation would be to say, oh, well, then A is 3 or something like that, possibly, just because, like, you're used to the slope being in front of a value, but it's not in front of the y value, right? It's in front of the x. So then maybe the temptation is to say, well, maybe A equals 1 or something, or I don't know, if the slope is here and there's nothing there. I don't know, there's all kinds of things that we think about, and it's like, well, it's kind of on track, but let's talk about what actually works here. So if they're telling us the slope and we've got an x and a y, let's take this original equation and let's solve it so that it's in the form y equals mx plus b. I would say I think that most of the time, if you're dealing with stuff that's linear and you've got stuff about slope, anytime you see m equals, that is probably referencing the slope. So it doesn't hurt to put it in slope intercept form, right? If you've got the y equals mx plus b, you can do a lot with that. And so that's often a good form to get into. All right, so right now we've got a lot going on here that's not just y equals, like that's our goal. And so we got to get to that point. So I would start by subtracting the x from both sides. So we've got ay equals, now remember, I want it to be mx plus b. I want the x value to be at the front. So I'm going to put the negative x at the front and the 4 at the back where the b value is. Okay, let's divide by a. I'm going to divide everything by a. So right now I have y equals negative x over a plus 4 over a. Looks kind of strange, right? It's not looking, like a typical problem with that a value. That doesn't make sense, does it? Okay, so let's think about if this is y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. And we know m is actually equal to 3. What is the m value right now? What does it look like? Well, there's a -1, but it's divided by a. So right now, the m is -1 over a, right? This could be written -1x, and then that could be over a, like that. Maybe that helps you to see that that's the same. So if these are both the slope, then they're equal to each other. And so I would say, let's set them equal to each other and solve for a, and we'll get our answer, because remember it says a equals what? That's our goal. So when I see divide by a, I'm going to multiply both sides by a so that we can get rid of this fraction. So 3 times a is 3a. Those a's cancel. That's why we multiplied by a, was to get rid of that fraction. So we just have -1 over here. And the last step would be to divide by 3. So a is -1/3. Now, there are probably several other ways to do this. At least one other way, but probably multiple other ways. So if you have a different method, I'd love to see it in the comments. I don't usually ask for comments and likes and all that stuff, but a comment would be interesting. I'd love to see, your strategy to get the a is -1/3 for this one. Okay. So that one takes some thinking, and you may need to, like, now that you've seen it, go back and like get the problem written down and try to work through it and see if you can remember the steps and the strategy to getting there. Okay. I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.